What's up, beautiful people? It's your boy Jagger. I hope you are doing absolutely fantastic wherever you are. I am enjoying what could only be described as a beautiful day out here in the sunny Diani Beach. Work should look like this every day. I am here to meet and greet a new client and just to understand their product better. But that's not really why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because this place I am in right now, this place and I have great history together, and by great I mean dark history together. And I came back here specifically to see how I felt about being in this place. So about 6 years ago, I was in this place, beautiful place by the way. They have 18 villas, all 3-bedroom. It's like a complete house by the way. It's perfect for families. I'm already seeing a couple of families around just enjoying some time together. It's an amazing place. But when I came here 6 years ago, I was at the darkest period of my life. And I thought, seeing as I'm here, I should narrate the story again in detail while in this place, just to kind of walk you through the story step by step. So if you have a bit of time, and if you have someone in your life who is going through depression, or someone who's been diagnosed with an emotional or mental condition and they need some inspiration, please share with them this video. Okay, so this is not the exact villa I was in back then. I was in the one next over where? Sorry, over there. No, that's completely wrong. I was in the one next door. Over here at the corner, there's a family enjoying it right now, so I can't use it. This is the one I'm staying in. I'm going to use it for purposes of this story because it's an exact replica of the one I was in 6 years ago. So yeah, let's get started. For me to tell you effectively, we need to go in. So it's a very simple place. I cannot call this place need to spit the Nyeri out. I cannot describe this place as bougie, but I can tell you what, it's a very comfortable space. If you're looking for a nice place to enjoy with your family or your loved ones over a long weekend or a holiday, Bahari Dao, you want to check it out. And the reason why I'm dropping their name over here is because everything I'm about to tell you has nothing to do with the place. It's a beautiful place. It's the reason why I came in the first place. Everything I'm about to tell you is about me and about what I was going through at that time. So let's keep that in focus. And by the way, this is not a Woishe story. This is my story of victory. This is my story of overcoming. This is my story of inspiration to someone who might be going through this. So don't Woishe. This is a great story. It's my victory. So come with me and let me tell you more details. Just for you to get everything in perspective, I need to kind of show you what the space looks like. This is like the lounge area. Up there is the dining area. It's currently my office. There's a kitchenette. And there's 3 bedrooms, 1 downstairs and 2 upstairs. Okay, so if you know my story, or if you've heard it, I have mentioned that there was a period in my life just before I went into rehab the first time when I was going through some madness. I was consuming 2 or so liters of vodka a day. That was happening here. So this fridge, or one pretty much just like it, was always full of vodka. Like I was buying vodka by the carton. How things have changed. Now we have water. We have chocolate. I should probably tame that habit. We have juice. We have yogurt. This is who I am now. I'm a healthy man and I'm proud of it. But back then things were crazy. So on this one morning, I woke up. Like the first thing I would do when I woke up is I would come down the stairs and sit at the lounge over here. Well, grab the drink, sit in the lounge, have my first cigarette. But on this day, I came downstairs and used this toilet for some reason, because I'd always use the toilet upstairs. So this is a toilet at the far end of the corridor, downstairs. I'm not trying to go in there, I'm not trying to gross you out. So I came here and I went for a short call. And I looked down the bowl for some reason, and what had just come from my system looked like black coffee. You don't need to be a surgeon to know that that means something is very wrong. And so I decided perhaps it was a good idea to spend the rest of the day just chilling out, hydrating, and taking care of my system, because I'd been abusing it thoroughly for about 3.5 weeks. Well, about 3 weeks. Now, there was a lady who would come into this villa every morning to clean it up. And we had become friends because I'd been seeing her every morning for like 3 weeks. She was like a middle-aged lady, and she had a family, so we'd always have a conversation. Oh, how are your people? And she'd always meet me over here. She would come, I think, at 8. She'd always meet me here, having my morning drink. So she would come, she'd always stand somewhere over here at the corner, and would just have a convo, and then she'd go about her business. On this one day, she came and I wasn't downstairs. So she gave herself access into the villa. She came calling my name, and then she went up the stairs into the master, knocked on my door and asked if I was okay. The door wasn't open. She came in and she just looked at me and said, are you fine? And I told her, I had some fish yesterday. I think it's messing with my system because I was, sweating profusely. I was constantly running to the toilet, and I think I had a headache. It was just, and I was throwing up constantly. So she looked at me, and then she said, have you had a drink this morning? I was like, I can't do that, Bana. My system is jacked up. Having a drink right now will only make it worse. And then she looked at me and said, Mad, a few years ago, there was a guy who lived here, and he would always look the way I did before having his morning drink. So she said, please just go try, have a small amount, and see what happens. So she looked like she knew what she was saying. I came downstairs, I jumped into the fridge, I grabbed half a glass of vodka, flushed it, came and sat over here. Actually, it wasn't really here. Back then, the TV was in that corner, and that seat was over there next to the door outside. So I sat there, and the weirdest thing happened. Within 15 or so minutes, my system just kind of stabilized. My stomach stopped hurting, my headache went away, I stopped throwing up, and within 20-30 minutes, I stopped diarrheaing. I was like, the heck? And that was the first time I realized that I had become an addict, and all these shitty decisions I had made about my life had caught up with me. And now, life is not worth living, so fuck it. So I started thinking about ways to end my life. To tell you the next part of the story, we need to go upstairs. Please don't judge me if you hear me panting. I'm not the healthiest I've ever been. Focus on the story, not my fitness. See, it's a huge place. It's a really big house. So this is the master. Again, it's a simple room, but it's a comfortable room. I genuinely like this place. So that's the bed, bunch of huge windows. There's even a balcony over here. Yeah, you can see the pool from here, and if you look just right, you can see the beach somewhere behind me, somewhere over there. Yeah, like I mentioned, it's a great place for families. Let's see if we can get you to see. Yeah, there is currently a family enjoying some downtime together. Good for them. Back to the story. So, when I came here back then, 6 years ago, it was a few weeks after I had been diagnosed as a manic depressive. Sorry, still catching my breath. Man, I need to start talking out again. So after I was diagnosed, I was given a bunch of meds. Some were tranquilizers to put me to sleep at night. And then during the day, I would consume mood stabilizers, just so I wasn't a complete lunatic. So I'd come with all those meds, and they were situated right here. So first I decided, the first thing I need to do is overdose on these things. So I spent the day drinking a bunch of alcohol. I went to the bar, had a bunch of beer, and then I came upstairs and I started throwing those things in my mouth like popcorn and pushing them down with vodka. And then after I felt like they had settled nicely into my stomach, I lay down over here and waited to die. I know I'm making it sound very easy, but trust me, when I was going through it, it was the worst thing I'd ever experienced. So imagine my disappointment waking up the next day and finding that all the damn tablets were on the ground there. I had thrown up at night, and they were all, all over the place over here. And they were it was very easy to see that none of, one or two of them had kind of opened up, so maybe I digested that. But everything else was here. And it was easy to see because there was nothing in my stomach but alcohol. So it was very easy to see what was going on. All the tablets were out here. And I realized, well, I need a better plan if this thing is going to become successful. So I thought of a new plan. The new plan was going to be a bit more drastic. So I came over here. This leads to a second balcony back here. See those clothing lines over there? My underwear was hanging there. I don't know where it's gone. Anyway, those clothing lines, you see, you might not be able to see them very well. These clothing lines used to go across from this side to this side over here. Oh wow, they still have the hooks in here. So they used to go across into these hooks. So I came and untied the camber. Back then they were using old telephone lines. Remember those black ones? So I untied it. It was a nice big one. I weaved it into a stronger rope. And then I came to this other bedroom. I came into this other room. So they've renovated over the last couple of years because I actually asked about them when I saw this room. Back then, they had beams running across the room, like huge beams, the support columns for the roof. They would go across like so. Yeah. So I came, I took that bedside thingy, I put it over here and went up there and rigged the car rope, and then I hid it nicely so that the cleaning lady would not see it. I didn't want her alerting anyone. Then I spent the rest of the day drinking, as I always did, and then late in the night when I was sure everyone else was asleep in the other villas, I came up here, I took that bedside thingy and I put it over here, and I ledged over it with a noose around my neck. So I was really big. I was much bigger than I am now. I was 115 kgs back then. So the rope gave in, it couldn't support my weight. So what happened, trying to give you details here. Details matter in a story, people. So you see, what happened is I ledged over, like I was stepping on the front side over here. So when it flipped, it fell down like so to the ground. So after the rope broke, I fell on this part, on my back. So what I woke up to the next morning was shooting pain, only to realize that yet again, the plan hadn't worked. And so I decided it was time for a more foolproof plan. So this time, we were going to make it something that wasn't going to fail. I was tired of the feeling I felt every time I woke up and I was still here. It was the worst feeling. So I came back downstairs and I spent the day drinking. But while I was drinking, I remembered that one of the new friends I had made was a beach boy. And he I'd started to see him as a very resourceful guy. So I called him and I asked him, hey, how possible would it be to get my hands on a gun? And he looked at me and he asked me, what do you need a gun for though? And I told him, hey, I traveled with a lot of money and I'm starting to feel a bit unsafe. Maybe there's a place I can hire a gun for a short while, and then when I'm going, I can nurture the thing. So he said he would call me in a bit. He called me in a few hours. He told me it was possible. 30-something thousand exchanged hands, and the guy brought me the revolver. He came in. I needed to prove to him that everything was okay. So we had drinks the entire afternoon, and then he left. This was a Friday. I remember it was a Friday because back then, 6 years ago, going on 6 years ago, KTN was showing old James Bond movies on Fridays. So I remember I was sitting over here watching a James Bond movie. I remember so vividly how this place looked. On this table, there was a Blue Label Smirnoff vodka. There was a packet of Embassy Lights. There was a remote. There was my phone. And there was a shiny silver revolver sitting right here. So, and I remember looking at them and thinking, this is the last time, Bana, that I'll ever be in a situation like this, watching TV like a normal human being. As in, I knew this thing was gonna be foolproof. So, let me tell you about the greatest miracle of my life. my relatives were starting to think that maybe something was wrong. And they were calling me, asking me where I was, blah, blah, when I was coming back. And so I got tired of that and I changed my number. I went and bought a new SIM card in town, and no one had my number except a few people here, like that Beach Boy and a few other people. So I'm sitting here watching TV and thinking to myself, once this vodka is over, so am I. My phone rings. And you guys, I'm looking at my screen because I still had all my numbers saved. And I'm thinking, Shosho is calling. How does she possibly have my number, Bana? And so sorry. That's literally the phone call that saved my life. Shosho and I have spoken about this repeatedly. She, to the best of her knowledge or to the best of her recollection, she called the number she always had. My number, the one I'd always had. That's what she called, but for some reason, the phone came to, dude, I can't explain how that happened, but I'm telling you that's the phone call that saved my life. The first things out of her mouth, she spoke in Gikuyu. She said, do not hurt yourself. Whatever it is you're going through, it doesn't matter. We can fix it, we'll take care of it, but don't hurt yourself because there's no coming back from that. And now I mean, it got really emotional because now she told me, oh, you know, I lost your father, I lost your uncle, don't leave me as well. And man, I freaking broke down. So by the end of that very lengthy conversation, I agreed to tell her where I was. And she sent my brother-in-law, I think it was, to come and get me. And so began the very, very, very long journey to recovery. Guys, I'm the same guy 6 years later in the same place and a completely different mindset. Here's what I want to share with you. If you happen to be going through the darkest period of your life, maybe things are just crazy in your life, or maybe you have depression, or maybe you've been diagnosed with an emotional or mental condition, whatever it is, if you're going through the hardest period of your life, or if you're going just through a chapter in your life where nothing seems to make sense, take it from me. It's not over until you give up. Provided you never give up, there is hope. I'm the same guy, Bana. The last time I was in this place as a guest, I tried 3 consecutive times to end my life, and now I'm coming back here in the fullness of my power, Bana. I've come back here. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an employer. I'm extremely excited about where my life is. Same guy, 6 years apart, different mindset. Dear friend, if you're watching this and you're going through it, or if you know someone who is going through it, take it from me. There is a better day coming if you choose to believe, if you choose to fight on, if you choose to believe that there is a reason why you're in this place called earth. If you choose to believe that there's a reason why you're partaking of this thing we call life, a greater day is coming. There is no way you are born, came into this experience, grew up, did a bunch of shit and then die. That's not how life is lived. You are on this planet for a very specific reason, and unfortunately, too many people go away never having found that out. Do you know the miracle it takes for a woman to get pregnant and give birth to a child? You are a miracle, my friend. Believe that. And take it from someone who's been to darker places than you might ever be in your life. A better day does come. Take time and fight for your life. What really changed for me after I got out of, so after that, after I was here, I went to 10 days of detox and then 115 days of rehabilitation, and then I got out of rehabilitation and relapsed in a month and a half and went back into rehab for another 3 months. The second time I was in rehab, something happened. I decided I wanted to know why I was really here. I decided that I wanted to discover what my purpose was. I decided that there has got to be a bigger reason as to why I was here. And every day since then, for going on 6 years now, I have woken up every day and I have pushed myself, I have challenged myself, and have taken myself to the limits of what I can possibly do. And I tell you this, every single day my life seems to be changing. Every single day my life seems to get better. I'm the same guy, 6 years apart, different mindset. Guys, be careful what you allow into this thing, bana. Be careful what you watch, be careful what you read, be careful who you hang out with. Just be careful what you're putting in your brain, because what's happening here, your thoughts are constantly controlling your reality. If you're not careful what's shaping your thoughts, then it means that you're not in control of the things that you're manifesting into your life. That's all I've done. I believed in myself and I chose to fight for my life. You too, no matter what you're going through, can have a better day. Just choose to fight. Don't give up. Don't give up. Fight on. Depression, manic depression, mental, emotional disorders, it does not matter what you're going through, there is hope for you. You just need to keep fighting. It's possible, it can be done, it has been done. With a lot of love and respect, it's your boy Jege, wishing you absolute love and light.